Welcome to the Transform Sales Podcast, where forward-thinking business leaders come to share their experiences and ideas, learn from each other, and amplify their results together.
Welcome to another episode of the Transform Sales Podcast. Today, I'm with Greg Landon, Head of Marketing of Leadoo. Greg, how you doing today?
Really well, thanks, Eddie. Really good to be with you all the way, even if it is a bit rainy and dreary in the UK where I am.
That's amazing. No worries, no worries. This is going to be a great episode. I was really looking forward to it because we had a previous discussion the other day in which you told me some of the tools that Leadoo compares against or stacks up against. And I noticed that you guys have some key advantages that I'm sure that growth teams in mid-market are really going to care about, specifically if they are in B2B, then they're really going to love this. Tell me a little bit more about Leadoo and why is this a conversational marketing platform?
Sure. So we are all about making your websites more conversational. So when we say that we help growth teams, we help sales and marketing teams who have websites that need to get more conversions and get more leads. So when we say we make websites conversational, we'll get into that in the demo, but we make your website more interactive. We make it more like an actual experience that you might experience in a store. For instance, if you have a bricks and mortar store and it's beautifully laid out and it's got all of the things you sell and it looks amazing, you've got great lighting, all of your products out. But if you don't have someone to talk to people coming into that store, someone to greet them, someone to help them, someone to answer questions, someone to show them around, if you don't have that, the odds are people aren't going to buy things in your store, are they? It can be the best laid out store in the world. It could show everything you have. But if you haven't got someone there helping customers, are they going to buy anything? And what we find is that for growth teams, for sales and marketing teams, the website kind of is that store. It's a dump of everything they sell. Here's all of our sales messages, all of our decks, all of our case studies, all of our products. Here's everything we've got. Now you as the user go and find your own way around it, answer your own questions, and come to your own conclusions.
Figure it out. Yeah, we're missing that concierge, that person over there at the store that may ask you, hey, if you need any assistance, I'll be here. Any particular size, any particular color that I can get for you. Like now, tell me a little bit more about what these growth teams, growth leaders typically do when they don't have Leadoo. How can they convert more of their website traffic, and why is that really not working as ideal for them?
Sure. So there's two main kind of strands that teams who have used products that offer similar features to Leadoo fall into. So one are the teams who are identifying their traffic. So that might be someone who's using something like a lead forensics or a deal front on the site to see, okay, here are the companies visiting my website. But then it's on you to reactively or retrospectively try and target those companies that you've identified after they've been on your website. You have to go and source their contact details. If they didn't convert while they were on your website, if they didn't give you their first party data, it's on you to go and try and source that from different databases or sales enablement tools that you use. So we have a lot of customers who were previously identifying website visitors, but not doing very much with that or not actively looking to convert them in the moment. Or we have people that are already using conversational tech on the websites, something like a Drift or an Intercom, maybe somebody who's got, a chat bot or something in the bottom right that connects to either a live chat agent or some, generic frequently asked questions kind of thing. But I think as we all can kind of admit to ourselves, a lot of us, when we go on a website and see a chatbot, we don't want to use it. We view it as quite intrusive in some ways. And so where our tech is different than, say, those solutions is that our tools embed within web pages organically. And we'll come on to that in the demo. But our tools at Leadoo, they sit within web pages organically, and they are designed to convert you while you are browsing in-page experiences and messaging. So it's about hitting users at the right stage of the journey, at the right stage of whatever pages they're looking at, as opposed to just trusting, hey, this person will click on the bottom right chatbot and hopefully we can convert them from there.
That's amazing, Greg. There's a very interesting experience that you guys have provided that I feel is amazing. Let's say you have something to reveal information. You're doing a campaign, but it's not ideal. Or let's say you have something in place. What would be the challenge there? that would motivate them to try Leadoo instead of, let's say, if they have Drift or Intercom?
Yeah. So why do you buy any software, right? Because you want to see a return from it. You need to be able to validate a tangible ROI from any tech that you buy. Marketers are under more pressure than ever to do that. I know personally. So the the reason that Leadoo is quite an easy sell for us in some ways is it's very easy for us to say, okay, by having our tools as opposed to just a generic chatbot or whatever you've got on the website now, by having our tools, we know that for similar use cases or people who are work in a similar sector that you work in, we generally know how much we can increase their average conversion rates by. If you could increase your average conversion rate by X%, what would that mean for you in terms of ROI on the traffic you already drive to your website? And if you start talking about websites that get a lot of traffic, or if you start talking about particularly high value orders, so something that somebody might need to visit a website 10, 20, 30 times before they're ready to buy,
Mhm.
software or uh, deciding what law firm to sign up to, or considered purchases, or
Yeah.
if you're buying commercial solar panels for your energy needs, things that your customers have complex journeys, but you might not have mapped them fully, and you probably don't have tech on the website to engage them depending on what
Mhm.
stage of the journey they're at. That's where it's quite easy for us to say, okay, these are the kind of results we've achieved for other people. And what would it mean for you if your website was converting? The average for us is around 40% more of your website visitors.
I like that. So we initially started talking about mid market, and while staying in mid market, if there's a high ticket transaction or even a transaction with multiple stakeholders, as you said, at a long process, not just I like it, I saw it, price makes sense, swipe the credit card. No, there are considerations. There are multiple stakeholders. We got to get everyone's approval and point of view. And as people are getting that, then those leads, those potential buyers and champions go to decide, do more research on the tool and the potential use cases. How is that going to affect them? What do they need for the transition? And through that journey, if they don't have lead do, then they're not maximizing the opportunities of communicating with those leads, assisting them, meeting them where they are, and helping them move forward. They're just leaving them to their mercy and the information that's on the website. Hopefully, and we cross the fingers, everything goes well. But we're just doing hail marys and not calculated strategic decisions to help improve the buyer's journey ultimately, right?
Absolutely. And to even take that a step further, imagine you're the sales rep who is trying to sell to that account that you've just described that has multiple stakeholders that are all visiting the website. How valuable is it for you to be able to know, okay, my champion was on the website yesterday. They forwarded on the email I sent them round, and I can see that now, okay, the CFO has been on the website and they've looked at the pricing page. They've looked at the customer service page. And I can see, okay, somebody else from the business has been on a blog link that I send round, which is a case study to a similar account that I'm trying to sell into here. So that kind of information for a sales rep is gold dust in terms of establishing how bought in are people, how many stakeholders or potential champions that I'm selling into have looked at my website and the content that I'm trying to get them to look at, and
Right.
what does their buying journey look like over time, which you can start to map out if you can start to see enough conversion journeys that have come through the website.
Awesome. All of these insights will help me as a salesperson tailor my approach better, project or define what the next steps should be, and have a good sales process, ideally faster in converting more. So I'm already eager. Without further ado, what do you say, Greg, if we do a quick screen share so you can show us a little bit of Leadoo, how you can embed it in the different sites, and all of this?
Excellent. So just to kind of show you that we practice what we preach, I'm going to show you the tools on the front end of a website based on our actual website. This is leadoo.com. You can go to our website. You will have exactly the same experience as I'm going to walk you through here. Okay. So if you come to our website, like any website in the world, we have our core messaging, we have our core call to actions that you can try Leadoo for free, for instance, or learn more about it or get it here. We have our credentials showing that we're good at what we do. And if I continue scrolling down the homepage, we have, usual homepage messaging, videos, anything that you might see on any other website, right? But one thing that I scrolled past here at the top is the first example of a Leadoo tool that I want to show off, okay? And this is called an in-page bot from Leadoo. The reason we call them in-page, as you'll have seen, is because it fits seamlessly into the page we were already on, okay? And when we talked about making websites more conversational, this is what we mean. It's not a pop-up. It's something that's embedded within the page, and it puts the onus back on me as the user to say, hey, thanks for visiting. What are you looking to learn more about today? So I can learn more about how Leadoo can help increase my leads, understand my customers better, improve my website UX, and I can click into those to go down kind of preset pathways to find out more about how Leadoo helps me do that. Leadoo also has AI capabilities. So if I say I want to chat to Leo, who's our AI assistant here at Leadoo, I can, again, ask him preset options about cost or tell me about services, but I can also type in anything I want. So when we say making it conversational, again, we want people to feel like they are in a brick and mortar store and talking to someone who can help them. So if I say, I'm going to ask you, pick an industry for me, Eddie, any industry.
Let's say fintech.
Fintech, excellent. So how does Leadoo AI help me in fintech get more leads? And our AI works in real time to generate responses that you can see coming up on your screen now, hopefully, to people's specific questions. So if you do this, you'll actually get a slightly different response than I did, probably, because it's generated in real time by an LLM. But Leadoo's AI can help your fintech business get more leads by providing real-time assistance to your website visitors, qualifying them, and guiding potential leads towards conversion points. Blah, blah, blah. And it gives me a link here to find out more about Leadoo AI, because that's what I asked about. Now, if I want to continue my conversation, you can see that these, what we call dynamic prompts here, have changed because I asked about Leadoo AI. These are now specifically about Leadoo AI. So can Leadoo AI integrate with fintech CRM systems? Or how does Leadoo AI handle compliance and security in the fintech industry? It knows what I asked. It is in the background, it's come up with suggestions that could be relevant to me. Again, we're all about driving conversions. A conversion at Leadoo, our main conversion point is booking a demo. So I always have the option to do that if I want to. But I could continue asking it anything. I could say, okay, well, how is it compliant for GDPR? I'm based in the UK. In Europe, we still follow GDPR compliance.
Right.
So what this is going to show as well is that if you can put in guardrails for Leadoo AI. So what it's come back to say is, I don't have information on that. You can find out information about GDPR compliance on the Leadoo website. Or if you want to read more about it in the context of Leadoo AI, please do. But the reason that it's come back to say I don't have any more information on that, specifically check out these sources, is because we don't want our AI to make up or hallucinate information that could be potentially wrong or potentially damaging for your brand.
Okay.
So
No misleading information, basically.
exactly. So in the same way as if you're based in Medellin, so if I ask, what's the weather like in Colombia, it should come back to say, I can only provide information related to Leadoo. I can't help you with that. Now,
I kind of saw there was a loophole, quick parenthesis. Some companies had deployed these AI systems that allowed them to chat with it, and people were not getting ChatGPT because they were just getting to the website that had that AI in their chat and using AI for free for everything. So that was what that meant, is that the company that set up that chat tool was now having to spend more money on credits for AI, LLMs, etc. In this case, hey, we're putting guardrails so that you can talk to our AI about us. If it's anything else, don't waste time, don't waste credits. It's not for that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
exactly. So there's some cases that you've kind of alluded to there of people being sued because their chatbots or their AI assistants have provided just flat out wrong information, or people have gotten them to swear or say things they shouldn't say.
Yeah.
The Ours have kind of it's all based on what we call our knowledge bases. So you limit the information that the AI model is trained on. You say, here are sources you can pull information from. If you don't know an answer to a question or it isn't in these sources of information, like a website or a sales deck, don't answer the question.
Hmm.
Now, at any point, like I said, if you were having your conversation with the AI and you wanted to find out more, you do have the option to book a demo. You can book into people's calendars directly, etc. Now, just to flag, it doesn't really matter what we talked about. This whole conversation here is recorded, and if I scroll up, it's still on our homepage. Like I said, that wasn't a pop-up. We didn't leave the homepage. I can still scroll down. I can still explore the rest of the site, but my conversation history is recorded here. And it's like you saw, it's an in-page embedded conversation within a website experience. We do have chatbots. We talked about chatbots at the start. We do offer a chatbot. That's what's popped up here in the bottom right. So for instance, you can learn more about Leadoo or what it costs here, and it will start taking me down relevant pathways. So if I say, how much does Leadoo cost? It will say, you can explore the pricing page here, but would you like a personalized quote? Again, driving me towards a conversion point or the right information. But
Okay.
like we talked about at the start, a lot of people won't use that bottom right chatbot unless they have to. And what a lot of people are looking for is, show me relevant information to myself while I'm already browsing the website. We know people don't like pop-ups. We know people don't like being told, look over here, look over here.
Hmm.
There's so much research to suggest that even in B2B, buyers want to research online independently, want to find out information for themselves. But the problem that so many marketers and sales teams have is that their websites, if they're being honest, don't allow buyers to find answers to the questions they want.
Right.
So just to show you like a different example, for instance, this is what we call one of our visual bots. So I'm still here on the homepage that I was scrolling down. But now this is a visual bot that's showcasing the different types of Leadoo tools. So we talked about the chat bot in the bottom right. We talked about the in-page bot, that one I showed you with the conversation. And also we looked at Leadoo AI as a source of conversational marketing. This, what you're looking at here, like I said, is an example of a visual bot. So if I click in to find out more about what a visual bot is, it's going to give me a brief overview. You're interacting with one right now. It's there to gamify the user experience with clickable and easy answers. And because I've said I want to find out more information about visual bots, obviously these links here are going to drive me towards that. So I can look at a product page about visual bots, or I can start looking at case studies, for instance, about how visual bots have helped different Leadoo clients. So let's say I clicked on this one here, how visual bots have delivered a 15x ROI. That sounds really impressive. So I come through to this case study page, and I can start reading the case study about how Leadoo bots drove a 15x ROI for a luxury travel company. Okay. So now I'm
Okay.
reading the case. I'm reading the case study. I'm looking at the visual bots in action here. I see, okay, this is relevant to me. I've enjoyed reading this. Excellent. I'm satisfied. If I now go back to the page we were on, and again, to your experience about, to your comment about it's all needs to be part of the person's journey that they're already on. If I go back to the homepage where I was now, this is the same visual bot, but it knows it sent me away. So now it's saying, welcome back. And again, we're all about conversions. So now, because it knows I've asked about visual bots and I have seen a case study of a visual bot in action, now I'm ready for some firmer call to actions. So now it's asking me, would you like to book a demo? Or would you like to look at the pricing page? Because I'm further along in my conversion journey.
The funnel. Yep.
Exactly. One option we know a lot of people use, for instance, that we give is, would you like to play around with an ROI calculator? Now that you've seen a case study, would you like to try and calculate some ROI from Leadoo? And again, this is another example of a Leadoo tool. So this is a blog, But the reason that we made this blog is because we want people to calculate potential conversion rate increases from Leadoo. So if we just put in some random stats here about how much traffic a website gets, let's say a website gets 23,000 sessions a month.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say that you convert, I don't know, 460 leads from that every month at the moment. I didn't plan that, but that is exactly 2%. Okay. I was actually hoping not for it to be a rounded number because it does go to decimal places. But based on what I told it, apparently that's exactly a 2% conversion rate. But whatever that number is, now this is where we can start personalizing people's journeys more. So like I was talking to you about how we sell Leadoo, for instance, if we say, okay, what industry do you work in? Okay, I work in IT and tech. Now, what this visual bot is going to do, and again, remember, this is not a pop-up. This is on a blog page that we came in on. This is just an embedded tool within the page. This is going to go away in the background and say, okay, based on what you told me, you could be converting more like 607 leads a month using Leadoo. That's 147 more than you told me that you're converting now. And that's because the average increase in conversion rates for IT and tech companies that use Leadoo is 32%.
Ah.
And if you increased your conversion rate by 32%, it would now be 2.64%.
Yep.
So this is a long-winded way of getting back to your question earlier, but in terms of why somebody might want to look at technology like this, just think about how many leads do you currently get through your website? And if you could increase that, 20, 30, 40, 50, 70%, what would that mean for you in terms of the net revenue that you would be able to drive through your website? And again, the crucial part of that is without increasing traffic. This isn't about driving more and more traffic to
More
your website.
campaigns. Yeah.
This is about activating and converting people already there.
Already there. Yeah. Whatever you are doing to run traffic to your site, this does not change or influence that. Is more of whoever is already on your site. Number one, reveal who they are. Number two, have more ways of communicating, engaging with them, interacting with them, and helping them find the information that they need to make their purchase decision ultimately. Now, Greg, this takes me to a very important point, which is we've seen a lot of different features, a lot of ways to set it up as a bot on the side, embed it in the page, AI, map out the knowledge articles, etc. Which takes me to this question. What are the tasks, deliverables, or people involved in setting up Leadoo? And how long does it typically take to reach full productivity?
Sure. So every customer, we have different, like most software, we have different packaging and pricing levels depending on features. But whatever package somebody signs up as a Leadoo customer, they get an onboarding manager and an account manager. That's two separate people. And our platform, if you want, you can set up all these bots yourself. But we, as part of any customer's package, do it for you if you want. So we help you build these bots, these conversational pathways. We look at your site, we identify, we think you could use a visual bot here, or we think you could use an AI bot to answer these type of questions on these pages, or we think you need to gamify your contact form here to make more people want to fill it out. And we do that for you. Again, if you want to, you can, but we don't advertise ourselves as self-serve. We have a team of what we call conversion experts who are there to help you do that. And it doesn't matter what package or pricing level you're on. If you're a Leadoo customer, you have access to that.
Perfect. And do these, let's say, set up assistant packages or assistance in someone from your team in building, recommending what to put on their website, etc. you mentioned it's included in all of the packages, but do they have an additional fee, or is like fine in all the packages you have, let's say up to 10 hours, and after that is an additional price? Help me understand that a little bit better, please.
Pretty much exactly that. So the kind of rule of thumb is about 10 of those conversion tools that you've seen, we will build for you. It doesn't matter what level you're on. Now, in terms of, I'm sure you don't want to get into what goes into different packages, but basically the higher up the packages you go is just more features and more support, like most SaaS. So you can have higher levels of integration and support and technical stuff happening in the background, the higher up you go. But for anyone who signs up with Leadoo, the first 10 or so of those tools we will build for you.
Fantastic. And that takes me then to my last question, which is what are the KPIs that the customers of Leadoo should be using to evaluate the success of bringing Leadoo on board, and what outcomes could they expect? I know we've spoken about a lot about conversion, but help me paint a clearer picture there, please.
Yeah, so we talked a lot about conversions. So the obvious one is conversion rate. Are more people who come to your site doing the action you want them to do? Whether that's
Mhm.
signing up for a demo or downloading material or buying something directly from you, whatever a conversion means to you, are more people doing it after you got Leadoo? That's the obvious one. I would then say, particularly over time, one thing that we would expect you to see is not just getting more leads or more conversions through your website, but your sales team converting more of those leads into actual customers. And if you'll let me just show you what I mean for a sec on the screen share, if I go back into
Yeah.
that. So this is where we left off, that visual bot we were on in terms of the conversion rate calculator. If you did that, if you filled in this contact form now, this would go straight into our CRM system. And somebody seeing that in the CRM system wouldn't just see, okay, Eddie filled out a contact form on the website, like you might currently see now, depending on what you see on systems like. What they would see is, okay, Eddie from CloudTask came onto the Leadoo website. If you imagine you did the steps I did,
Right.
he looked at the homepage. He asked the AI bot some questions about Leadoo AI. He then looked at visual bots. He read at this visual bot case study over here about 15x ROI. He then came to the conversion rate calculator page and said he gets 23,000 sessions a month and about 400 leads. And he filled out this information. So you can imagine as a sales rep receiving all of that, ringing you up. It isn't going to be just, oh, hey, Eddie, saw you filled out a contact form on the website. How can I help you?
Mhm.
It will be, hey, Eddie, what did you think of that exceptional villas case study that you read? What really impressed you about your conversation with the AI bot? Do you think that's a feature that you might want to incorporate onto your website? Those 400 leads you're getting a moment a month, that's great, but how many of those are you converting? What's the average order value? It's so much deeper. You're able to start the conversation so much further along than if you just came and filled out, a generic contact form on a website. And so we would expect that your sales team would be able to start converting more of those conversions that you get just from increasing your conversion rate.
That is incredible, and ultimately improves conversion rates, reduces sales cycle. Overall, it affects revenue, and that's what we're all about.
Yeah, exactly. Couldn't have said it better.
I love it. Well, Greg, this has been a very, very interesting episode. There's a lot of features within Leadoo that you definitely should explore if you are a growth marketer. So, if you're listening to this episode and want to learn more, head over to the CloudTask Marketplace. You can learn more about Leadoo. You can schedule a session with Greg and his team so that they can present a specific use case for your business. Greg, thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else you would like to share with the audience before we wrap it up?
No, not really. Just to say, really, really good to be with you today. And I'm a marketer. I'm not a salesperson. What I'm passionate about is helping other marketers. And one of the ways I know I can do that through Leadoo is helping people get more out of their websites. But if anyone wants to reach out to me on LinkedIn or any other platform and is just looking for general advice on, look, I'm really struggling with leads or conversions or whatever it is, marketers are at their best when they help other marketers and other growth teams. So more than happy to answer anybody's questions.
I'm 100% with you. Greg, thank you so much for your time. It's been a great episode. Hope that the audience got really good value of where Leadoo can make a difference. You may have heard of the drift and the intercoms, but had you ever seen how you can embed this tool in a chat and give that type of experience? Well, hopefully this helps you and your buyers. Thank you, Greg, again for your time, and I hope to catch you in a future episode.
Thanks so much, Eddie. Thanks, everyone.